Yay, we're live. We're a little late. We said 10, but that's okay. Better late than never, right, Richard?
That's right.
All right, guys. I don't know why I look so shiny, but anyway, okay. So I'm super happy to be here on this rainy morning. I think all of Florida is underwater right now. But I wanted to welcome back because Richard's been here, I think, 2 or 3 times. Richard, how many lives have we done?
About 3 or 4, yeah.
Yeah, about 3 or 4. Because you've been with me how many years now?
2 years.
2 years, right. So I wanted to bring Richard back because I'm just finishing my nutrition reset, the 5-day free challenge. And I wanted to highlight Richard for 2 things. Number one is he just had another PR, right, at his 70.3 in California, Oceanside. And I wanted to talk about that, but I also wanted to talk with Richard about his journey with the nutrition and lifestyle program that he went through when he first started with me 2 years ago, and how he's been able to find balance by still incorporating many of the things that he learned as tools. Would you say that's true, Richard?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so just reintroduce yourself real quick, what you do, your family, all that good stuff, in case people don't know you.
So I'm Richard Gomez. I've been with Aaron for 2 years now. I've been doing triathlons for about 4 years. I am a construction manager. I own a construction company, and I got a wife and 2 kids, Alec and Lexi, that are 10 and 12.
Yeah, so the reason why I definitely wanted to reintroduce you is just because you are, you have other things outside of triathlon that you have to manage on a daily basis. You work full time, you have your own company, and you have a family with kids, and you have those responsibilities. But here you are still, after 2.5 or 3 years, being able to PR and keep improving in triathlon, right? So this is actually, I picked this picture on purpose because this is a picture of Richard before. This was your first tri camp with us. And I'm a numbers person because, by the way, you look amazing. You're very fit and in shape right now after your race. And numbers wise, I mean, I know you had lost weight before you came to me and work with triathlon with me, but there was a journey beforehand. Maybe discuss that, how you maybe got a little bit unhealthy and that part of things.
Well, it wasn't a little bit; it was a lot of it unhealthy. But yeah, I mean, actually, when in that picture there, I had already been doing triathlons for about a year. So I was actually, in comparison to what I used to be, I was in pretty good shape there. I was weighing like 180, 190 pounds. I got down to 140, 150 doing your nutrition plan and doing everything, the reset that I had started it right there. And I apologize. I actually had the joy of coming home to a house with the flu from
California.
So I was already a little drained from the race, and then I got sick thanks to my wonderful children. So whatchamacallit, I like I said, before I even started doing triathlons, I mean, I used to weigh like 250 pounds. I mean, I was a chain smoker, heavy drinker, ate fast food. Slowly started changing my lifestyle, but nothing compared to what I learned, by doing your nutrition plan and really not only, what I thought I was eating healthy, but really eating healthy and watching what I eat, and like you say, reading the labels and making sure that even though you think you're eating a healthy salad, you're really not, unless you're really watching what it is that they're putting in it.
Right, exactly. So that's cool. So what did you do to get from that 250 to that 180? Because when you met me, I mean, I wouldn't say you were extremely overweight, but the transformation between 180 and 145 is obviously massive, and it actually can help your performance. But I didn't realize you used to smoke. Wow, that's major. So what did you do before you came to Full Circle Coaching to get to that 180? Because that's pretty massive as well.
I mean, it wasn't very healthy. There was a lot of GNC, Rip Fuel, and stuff like that. And no, but I mean, the big thing was I just, really changed my eating habits, even even back then, it was a drastic change. I mean, I used to eat nothing but, McDonald's and fast food and pizza and Taco Bell.
Right. And what was your motivation though? What was your why? Why did you all of a sudden want to make a change? And what was your original desire to do a triathlon?
I woke up one day and I realized if I kept that pace, I wasn't going to make it to 30. Yeah. So that was it. That was motivation.
That's awesome. Well, I'm so proud of you. Congratulations, because that alone, I mean, a lot of people can't even take that first step, and you did that on your own. But, and just by happenstance, when we started working together, what was the reason you sought out Full Circle Coaching?
I mean, the main reason is when I was introduced to you by my sister-in-law, is you and I were talking, and I was telling you about the prescription heartburn medicine that I would take every day. And you told me, you said, I guarantee you, if you do my plan in 3 months, you'll never take another pill again. And I said, look, I'll give you benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to go and give it a shot. And if what you say is true, then you have an athlete on your hands, because I wanted to do that first before I really started training. Right. So I really focused on that for the first 3 months that we were together. Yeah. And you were true to your word, because I have not taken heartburn medicine since I met you.
That's amazing. And I think that's such an important thing, because unfortunately, when you go to the doctor and you say you have a symptom, they don't look at what caused the symptom, right? So they're not educated in that, unfortunately. And they would just put a Band-Aid on it. And when you take those meds, those digestive meds for like reflux or whatever the case is, it just masks the symptoms. So you might not have the pain anymore, but if you don't change what caused it, then you're always going to be on those medicines for the rest of your life. So that is huge. And I congratulations, number one, but also I wanted to see if you would be willing to share like how difficult it was, because a lot of people are afraid to try something new. They're not coachable. You came in and you were like, hey, this girl tells me I can do this. I really don't want to take these meds for the rest of my life. I'm willing to try it, right? So was it really hard to implement changes?
For me, the only thing that was hard was what's that crap called? The green powder,
yes,
I did a Linda Blair one morning in my car.
The super greens. Yeah. So the good news is we have a few different brands of that now. So we have different ones that taste better.
What I did was I started mixing it in my smoothie, and that kind of made it go away, because I couldn't, my stomach couldn't handle it by itself. But besides that, it wasn't. I mean, it was discipline. I had to I created a crap. I don't have it here. I had these little laminated sheets of everything I had to take. I mean, that was the toughest part, is just making sure I always had everything with me while I was, out of the house and stuff. So I knew when to take what. It took a little bit of planning and discipline, but besides that, it was easy.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing, is willing to try it. And then we're constant communication. So you're giving me feedback. Okay, that greens powder is not happening. So we change things up. Right. And the whole idea is not everybody's going to have to go through the protocol. This is what we're talking about, is a gut healing protocol, because when your gut is not functioning properly, which most people in the US, their guts are not functioning properly. We got to get that dialed in first, because you could be eating the best food in the world and not absorbing it, right? So we had to have your gut start functioning, because I knew you were taking those meds. So we needed to fix the gut first. And in the process, we changed your nutrition. So we did have some eliminations. But since then, I want to talk about how you went through the protocol. You had great success. You had an amazing year. You went through Ironman, and you just kept up with the nutrition with the pieces that worked for you. It's not like you had to stay on that strict protocol for the whole, for after those 3 months, right? It was about 8 weeks to 3 months that you were super strict. We got the results we needed. You were off the meds. You weren't having any symptoms. So you just implemented what you did, right, in pieces until Ironman. Is that true?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, and so you were able to have an amazing race, a 12:48 first-time Ironman, and the sports nutrition also was addressed. We definitely talked about that. But then I want to talk about how since then it's been a year, right? And it wasn't like you were super strict. And I definitely wanted you to be the person to talk to today, because Richard likes to party. Like, this is not someone who changed his life completely and doesn't have fun. He lives the 80-20, and maybe he went 50-50 for a while, right? Would you say?
Yeah, that's, I mean, during the holidays and everything, yeah, I kind of let go a little bit, but once I got 3 or 4 months away from Oceanside, I got back to some of my, I didn't go full bore, but I went back to a lot of the stuff that I was doing before, watching what I ate, cutting back on sugar, and staying away from beer.
Yeah, so that's about having the tools, right? So you gain the tools, you learn the tools initially, and then you have them as a resource for the rest of your life, right? And I love that you actually still maintained. I mean, you were still looking good as far as, you never went back to that 250 pounds, or I don't know, did you ever go back to 180? Like, how much weight did you gain when you were
I was close. I was around.
You were around what?
I was around 180 probably.
Okay, so you went back. Okay, cool. So,
yeah, and then you posted that slow-mo picture of me at the track, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, video kind of helps, right? Or when you see pictures of yourself, but that's cool. So, like, as far as, like, if anyone's listening here and is looking and interested in learning to change their nutrition, like, what would you give them as feedback as far as the program that you went through and how it, worked, it fits into your life, and how you manage it with your family and stuff too? Because I know that was a little bit of a challenge, right? With your kids a little bit, like, did it help you educate your family more about eating healthier and stuff like that?
I tried. They wanted nothing to do with it.
Well, hopefully they'll see you as an example. It's tough when every commercial on TV for the kids is like, I mean, I watched a show the other day with my daughter and I was like, oh my God, I want Captain Crunch. Like it was like every single commercial was about like crap food. Like, it made me want to go eat badly. So it's a challenge with the kids for sure. But how about your wife? Did anything rub off on anybody?
I mean, yeah, I'd say a little bit, but not as much as I would have liked. But it was something they didn't give me a hard time about it. Every once in a while when they order pizza and I don't eat, they get pissed. But
So
besides that, it's not. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't bad at all, and they understood why I was doing it. So
yes, they want you around, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so anything else you would like to share? And then we're going to talk about the race, because I definitely want to get into the race details.
No, I mean, I mean, for me, it was, aside from, like you said, the actual medical part of it and getting rid of the pill, for me, it was also part of the, when I did, like I think I had mentioned in one of the other interviews we did, is when I did my first half iron in Augusta before I met you.
That's right.
I did it, but I felt like crap after. I threw up, I fainted, and my stomach was torn up.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that I told you when I decided to do the Ironman was, aside from having certain goals as far as time and pace and everything, is, I wanted to actually enjoy it and feel good when I was done. And I did. I mean, I went straight from the finish line and walked to Margaritaville and had a beer and a burger with Michael Caputo.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
great.
The way to celebrate. That's the way to celebrate. If you do the proper training and you fuel yourself correctly all through the training and on race days, you should not feel like you're on death's door when you cross that finish line. And you are the perfect example of that. So let's get into Oceanside, because you had a PR there. What was your previous 70.3 PR?
Well, I done 70.3 or half iron. So my previous half iron was like 640. I done a couple of 73s during COVID, but they weren't really,
focused.
No, they weren't real races. It was just stuff that
okay.
Races. Remember, I was doing my training during COVID.
That's right.
So I think I've done like a 620, a 624, but nothing as far as part of an Ironman race, just, doing it myself.
Okay, got it.
In Miami, man, I had done like a 624, 625.
Okay, cool.
But my previous half iron was like 640, 645. And I did Oceanside in 627, and it was I would say it was probably harder than the full. It was by far the hardest race I've ever done, and it was one of those that everything that could go wrong, or I wouldn't say go wrong, but everything I had planned for was not what actually occurred. You know, it was 70 degrees and sunny, 1 foot waves on Friday. Woke up, it was booty legal because the water got below 65 degrees. There was a fog, so you couldn't see 2 feet in front of you, and there was 3 to 5 foot swells.
Oh my God.
So yeah, the swim was bitch. Then I got on the bike, and I mean, I knew the bike was going to be challenging because it had, 3 or 4 steep inclines that you basically run out of gears and you're just grinding up the hill.
Right.
And then I had 3 mechanicals. My chain fell off 3 times.
Wow, I had no idea. So we haven't talked since the race, and normally we do a post-race debrief. But yeah, so when you're in the hills, like coming from a flat training place like Florida, that is a common theme. This happened to one of my other athletes in Utah. But so what did you do when your chain came off? Were you having to stop and re-put it on, or what happened?
I mean, fortunately, it wasn't anything major. It was it's one of those things. I took my bike to somebody that I normally don't take it to, but I had no choice, and I knew it. When I left, I was like, something's gonna happen with my chain, because I kept feeling like it was too loose. Fortunately, it didn't, come off in any critical area. It was pretty much on the flats, so I was able to get off and put it back on. But it was just frustrating because that's the part that you try to make up the time for the climbs.
Right.
So I had to deal with that. And then, just to top it off, of course, once the run started, all the fog got burned off and the sun was cooking you for 13.1 miles. But the run was nice. I mean, it was, 70 degrees on the beach. It was a very nice run.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite courses. So I did the full Ironman there. So it's 2 loops.
Yeah, God bless you. I kept thinking about that. I'm like, I couldn't do this bike loop again. It was
2 loops on the swim, 2 loops on the bike, and 2 loops on the run. The difference is when I did it way back in 2001, we did it inside the marina, so there was no waves whatsoever, but it was cold. I mean, the water for me was like, I think it was like 62. I had a neoprene hoodie, like I was freezing. But the climb, like for me, those climbs, I mean, tell us about the climb, because there is that 15-minute climb. Like, how did you handle that?
Well, I mean, the first part that was challenging was, so it's inside of Camp Pendleton, which is a Navy base. So you're doing sight unseen. I always like to drive the course before, just so I know what I'm dealing with. So it was basically riding in the lines.
Yes.
And there was 3 points where people were just hopping off their bike. I mean, people walked it, and I'm like, look, I'm not here to walk. I came here to freaking California. So I mean, it was you run out of gears and you just grind it out, and it's just like doing Sugarloaf.
Yeah.
But
a lot longer. Yeah, about 3 times as long, right?
Yeah.
I remember taking like about 15 minutes. And what about the descent? Because descending is, a whole different ball of wax as well, because we're not.
It was. I mean, there's actually a point where they actually make you. They were disqualifying people for going over 25 miles an hour.
And do you know why that is? Do you know why?
Yeah, you tell me, because someone died on the descent there once.
When I was there, I actually Perry Rendina is his name, so I'll never forget his name, because I saw him. He had passed away. So they never let you descend. I had got on the first loop. I had gotten up to over 46 miles an hour on the descent. So on the second loop, I couldn't figure out why they were telling us to slow down. And then I saw, his deceased body with a sheet over it, and just felt so badly for him and his family. But yeah, so that's a reason. So your bike took a little bit longer. I remember you sent me your TriCalc 3, and do you remember what I responded? I said, the bike is going to be a little bit longer, because you had predicted like a 250, I think, right?
Right.
And I was like, I would definitely plan on like a 3-hour bike. And what did you come in at?
I think I came in at just under 3 hours.
Okay, yes, but it was a little bit, because I just knew about having.
No, actually, you're right. You're right. It was just over 3 hours.
Yeah.
Just over. 'Cause I'm trying to shoot for under 3 hours, but no, I came in like at 3:10 or something like that.
Yeah, because I knew that they make you slow down, and also the climbs. That 15-minute climb takes a lot out of your legs. So, okay, cool. And then so the run was flat. I knew you were golden, so I followed you, of course, on the Ironman app. But on the run, I just loved how consistent you were. Like, talk about it. Did you feel okay? I know you said this was the hardest race you've ever done, which I didn't realize. But what happened on the run?
No, I mean the run. I know my pace, and I'm not a fast runner, so I didn't. I actually got off the bike a little hot, and I caught myself. And I averaged 10, 11-minute miles the whole time. It was there's two parts when you go from the street down to the boardwalk, where it's just kind of like a straight up little ramp.
Oh, wow.
Where that was just a little annoying, but besides that, it was a flat ride. It was sunny. I got a little sunburn, but it was. I mean, the run was good, and I knew what I knew what I was gonna do there. I pushed the last mile. I think I did like 9 minute my last mile, just because I had enough left in the tank to push it a little.
That's great.
I actually ended up running the last few miles with this guy from Jacksonville.
Oh, cool.
We just ended up talking, and me and him were going about the same pace. So he kind of helped keep me consistent there at the end. But it was the run was actually the easiest part, which is bizarre for me because that's normally the worst part for me.
But you've become, I mean, I have to say that you are such a well-rounded athlete. I mean, when you came to me, I mean, I don't want to insult you in any way, but you really didn't have swim skill. You really weren't that strong on the bike, and you really weren't a fast runner. But I can honestly say you've up-leveled pretty consistently in all three. Don't you agree?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't running. Well, I was terrible. I mean, I think you have that video of me on the clay track from camp, troglodyte running around.
But I think we need to change your language, because you are a really good swimmer, you are a really good biker, and you are a really good runner. And you've got to start giving yourself a little more credit, Richard, because you are like, you can't say those negative things about yourself anymore. Okay.
No, but I've improved more swimming and biking than I have running. I could probably push myself a little bit more on the running, but
well, we have that hamstring issue though. So
yeah.
So okay, so let's talk about what's next, because I love to have the next goal, right? Because there is a such thing as the Ironman blues, right? So you accomplish the goal, and then you don't have anything set in the future. So I'm a big fan. What's next for you?
Well, right now I'm gonna try and see if I do some PT on my leg to see if I get, because I think that's one of the reasons why I don't push my running. So I want to see if I go and get a little work done on my legs, do some strength and stuff on my right leg. Like figure out what the hell it is that just tweaks it all the time.
Yeah.
But right now I haven't signed up for anything. I may do the Key West right finish the year. But I'm looking. I'm probably not going to do any long distance next year. I'll probably stick to some of the stuff here locally. But I don't know. I haven't really. I kind of want to focus on getting my leg fixed and doing some strength for the next 2 or 3 months, hopefully, so I could really focus on my running
for next year. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I'm a big fan of short course triathlon to help you get faster, and even doing 5Ks, 10Ks. And, through December, even for you, since you're done with your racing season, November, December, January, I would definitely want you to be hitting those weights and actually lifting heavy shit, right? Actually using heavier weights than maybe you have before to help you kind of get that hamstring back on track. And if you need to, you might even want to consider some PRP just to help, layer that extra muscle fiber. I had to have that on my hamstring, and I am knocking on wood because I'm having like the best runs of my life after 2 years of being injured. So definitely feel your pain as far as having that niggling, annoying hamstring, but it is possible to heal it. So definitely, athletics or any kind of PT you can get, but you know, consider maybe doing a little PRP too as well, because it might just help you bridge that gap.
I'm trying to avoid it, but I don't, I haven't completely ruled it out.
Yeah, but it's your own blood, right? It's your own platelets. It's like it's the least invasive. Like it's not surgery. You're not going in there and cutting anything, right? It's a little uncomfortable, but it's only like because you're not, you know, it's meant to create a huge inflammation response in your own body. So they irritate it, right? They irritate the area, and they do it with a guided ultrasound, and then they inject your own platelets back in. And it's really cool because this guy demonstrated for me like in a digital way, but it's actually like it weaves the muscle with layers of your own platelets back to your muscle so that it reattaches back to the bone or whatever the case is, you know, for you. It's really cool. Like our bodies are freaking amazing. And rather than going the surgery route or keep pushing through and making it worse, the PRP is such an easy option. So I would definitely think about it. Okay, cool. All right, anything else? Because I got to get to my nutrition reset the last day, but thank you so much for being here and sharing about all your wisdom about your success. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, that's it. Thank you. Thanks for everything you've done for me.
You're very, very welcome. I'm so excited. I'm hoping maybe camp next year. I don't know if it's on the agenda.
Yeah, you're doing it on my son's birthday.
Oh, your son's birthday. All right, we're going to have to change the dates. Well, maybe North Carolina camp then, maybe in July. We're actually maybe considering Colorado camp. You know, one of my athletes is out there now, so we might do something different. All right, Richard, I'm wishing you well. Congratulations on all your success, and way to go on just keeping the balance, right? Keeping the balance between your real life, your family life, and your tri life, and, you know, living the lifestyle. So congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Care.
Bye, guys.